In this video, we are going to discuss recent happenings within the trial of Milagro Grams versus Megan Thee Stallion, especially since we have some extra days since we have to wait for a verdict longer than expected. So we'll talk about the verdict form and legal strategy on both sides. So, child, sit back and relax and just enjoy the conversation. If you didn't know, we actually did a breakdown on the things that Megan Thee Stallion revealed about her beef with Nicki Minaj and the deals that they competed for. Visit my Inside Thoughts tier on Patreon for that, though. So let's get into some things. Megan's attorney on Milagro changing her mind about rapper being shot. Holy smokes, now Megan is shot? I asked her, Milagro, that 10 times. Let's go back 5 years. Why somebody said just quit. And somebody else said that even if Tory were to come out and say that he actually did do it, that people like the Barbs and Tory Lanez fans would say, oh, Rock Nation is threatening his family. Rock Nation made him do it, even if he admitted. Child, if it came out of Tory's mouth, child, I don't give a fuck no more. So it is what it is, you know? But until then, I'm going to believe what I believe, which don't matter for the context of this conversation. So let's move on. Do y'all really think that Millie got paid by Tory to do what she did? Me? No, I never thought so. But let's see, what were the effects of that? According to LaJanae, she says, my personal thoughts. I'm not reporting, just tweeting a thought. One thing I don't understand from Milagro's testimony is that she said she was blacklisted, fired from Station Head, where she was making $6,300 a month, $10,000 in the red. Millie claims that she is in the negatives. Her bank account is in the negative $10,000 because she aligned with Tory and being sued, trying to prove that she was not paid. So she says, LaJanae says, the reporter says, she couldn't just shut up. How much you got to lose before you say, all right, this ain't worth the risk? I got kids to feed and bills to pay. It ain't that serious. It's so sad that it took Millie so long to get to that point. She said, I wanted Megan's team to ask her that because it don't make sense to me. It don't. Now, why somebody said, I was just looking for the personal thoughts post right after this one that says, why couldn't Megan just mind her millionaire business? But of course, there isn't one. Why does Millie have to censor herself because the celebrity feelings is hurt, especially when TMZ does it? You literally just asked why she didn't silence herself like Megan allegedly when she told police she stepped on glass to protect Tory. There isn't one because I haven't fully formed a thought yet. Unlike most people on here, I actually think before I tweet. I take time to process what I'm seeing, how I feel, and what it means. I didn't post it because I'm fleshing out my personal thoughts. The trial isn't even over. I was literally just tweeting my first person observation. Why does she have to be quiet from supporting a man still fighting for his freedom? Because they banged the gravel? He immediately should become irrelevant and nobody should speak on his case because that's the mindset Megan has and that's why it got here. Megan needs to get over it. Megan definitely could just tune Millie out, especially if she claimed that she was never paying attention to Millie and that T. Farris and other people around Meg was sending her Millie's content. That's y'all fault. And I'm glad that Danat said in person, yo, stop sending her shit. Stop sending her shit. But we said, they knew what they were going to do, So there's that. But I also want to get into and give flowers to Milagro Grams' legal team. Like I said in my last video, I don't think anyone could have predicted how great they are, specifically Jeremy McLamont. According to Armand and people who were there, the other two women could do better, but they are younger lawyers and stuff like that. So they just probably need more experience, practice, and time. But Jeremy has had two huge profile cases this year. He just came off of the Fulio trial with Alicia Andrews. I was watching that trial as much as possible, and I think he did a good job with that. And also, he's doing a great job with what he has with Millie. And she also claims that she not paying him. Do y'all believe that? Who knows? But yeah, LaJanae also made a thread of why Megan's team fumbled their closing. And I really do want to get into that. Megan's lawyers walked into closings with a stronger legal position, but they didn't present it in the strongest strategic way. Here's why their closing didn't land the way it could have and what it means for the jury. No matter the verdict, one thing is clear. This closing showed us a difference between winning the culture and winning the courtroom. Okay. So who won the culture? Megan's side and Jeremy Millie's team won the courtroom? Which one y'all think she referring to? And the fact that we haven't gotten a verdict, they took 5 hours in the first day to debate and we have to wait a long weekend. It sucks because Millie, regardless of Millie's financial position, she is spending so much money with having to stay in Miami all this time. It's probably been about 2 weeks or approaching that at this point. But as always, it's hard to feel bad for any of these people because they knew what they were signing up for. And this is what it means when they say, "Are you willing to die on that hill?" Yeah, I believe that Tory Lanez did not do it or should not serve 10 years, but I don't care that much to go this far to pay this much money to then say on the stand, "Oh, I believe that Megan got shot." But she probably don't believe Tory did it. She probably do believe that Kelsey did it, which is more of in my thought process. But at the end of the day, again, I don't care that much. I might have done a protest. I could have went out and did a protest, but to me, that's as far as I was taking it, especially because Tory Lanez did not testify. If he ain't gonna speak out, why should I? If he ain't gonna use his voice, why should I? That's what you have to think about. So I also want to address on Patreon, like whether Millie should be considered media. But before we go to Patreon, let's talk about and give flowers to Milagros' team, right? Because the jury is telling us a lot. Milagros' team put up one hell of a defense. If we still ain't got no verdict the day before a holiday, it means they are really torn if she's liable for Megan Thee Stallion's alleged claims and harassment. It doesn't mean that Millie will win. So they had questions, the jury had questions about the deep fake, which states had that similar laws, and where was Meg when she watched the video. The judge told them to rely on the evidence. This judge is also not doing, like, not putting her foot down. Do you think the idea that this is the first case tried in this law that many feel pressure on their verdict? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. Maybe Meg's team really let them know they have a responsibility to send a message. Someone said, "I'm no lawyer or expert, but I feel like Megan's lawyers had a lot of evidence to work with, but still stumbled. Not sure if the jury feels the same, but this case could have been presented in a stronger manner." I think that, like, Megan's team knew that they were coming with a $1 billion law corporation and a big backing, 12 lawyers or 6 lawyers, however many the fuck it is. And they saw Millie's team. Oh, she's poor. She ain't got no money. She can't even have a lawyer. She can't even pay for a lawyer. We got this. We don't even got to do shit. But they got their asses handed to them, you know? So I got to put respect on Milagros' team once again, for her choosing him, because even the lawyers that Millie had in the beginning with Unite the People, I don't know if they would have fought this hard for her and dug it as deep as Jeremy did. So she gonna be forever indebted. Millie got a lot to pay, because on Patreon, we will then discuss if Millie should be considered media and how platforms like myself, these Twitter blogs, should act in the future. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Definitely click the link below. Shout out to my Patreon people. If you're in the free tier, I love you. Shout out to my insiders. Let's extend the conversation even further on the Inside Thoughts tier right now.
It's your girl Vina Love, the Harlem Princess, your favorite princess, and this is Destiny Below.
Period.